Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Business Origin Story podcast. I'm your host, Drew Mitchell, and with us today is Blossom with Team TAV. And Blossom, why don't you take the floor and introduce yourself, please?
Thanks, Drew. Hi, I am Blossom Tavares. I am the CEO founder of Team TAV Enterprises LLC. What we do, what I do, or what my team does is we help. I hate to use that word help, but we like to make sure that we work with a lot of small businesses and startup business, a lot of entrepreneurs to make sure they have the right systems and process in their business. So they're not an employee of their own business, they are a business owner.
It sounds like you do that kind of the whole gamut,
Yes.
wide variety of different things in terms of marketing for small business. So why don't you give us kind of like a little skinny, if you will, a rundown of the core things that you offer?
The core thing that we help is growth. We want to make sure you get to the next level. So we make sure that you have systems and processes in, you have the right CRM that is built for your business, and also you know the HR benefits and payrolls and all that stuff in your business, that you have all that in there, so you're not, as a business owner, you're not working in your business because you did invest in your employees to do your work, to do the work for you to grow your business.
Love it. I love that. And my next question for you, Blossom, that I want to ask is, so how long have you been doing this business? And then the second part of that is what got you started into it?
Well, I'm going to answer the second question first. So, what got me started was that I was seeing other coaches that became out of COVID, and I'm like, there's a coach for every single little thing, but they're not helping the small businesses that I've worked with in my past. That I've worked with the small businesses, and I've seen what their needs are and what the resources that they need. That's not what they were giving to them.
Hmm.
And I worked with another business coaching platform. I just couldn't put my name behind the brand because of my integrity and my involvement with the community, that I didn't think it was right. So I said, you know what, I can do this on my own. And with the encouragement from my family and my peers that are around me, Blossom, you can do this on yourself. You can do this about, I was scared and I was nervous to go on my own. But I finally got the courage, you know what, and I see the need for this on small businesses because that's my passion, that I can help them grow to the next level and not charge them an arm and a leg that will break that will break their bank, because they're already starting off negative, small businesses in a hole already. So I want to make sure that they get out of that and bring them, make them revenue instead of them trying to get out of that debt that they already started off with as being a business owner.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like whenever you're starting a new venture, going from, like you said, with this brand doing coaching, and you just have that integrity, and
Yes.
it's always scary when you do it on your own you
Yes.
know
It is. You have to have a team that can help you. You have to have mentors that will help you grow the business, and that is, they understand your mission as well too, where you want to go and what your products are and what your end game is too. You have to have an exit plan, as also, you don't want to be working in your business or owning your business forever if it's growing, and you may want to hand it down to your kids. But sometimes our children, they don't want to come into the business, right? They want to do their own thing. So you must have an exit plan as well too. So business plan, knowing your numbers and having an exit plan is key to owning your business as well too.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, a lot
Personally,
of people don't think about those things when they
yeah,
start out,
you said
and yeah, there's just a lot of just stress already with these small businesses and how they're getting started and all that jazz. And I just feel like nowadays there's just so much, and you probably would agree. There's just so much information. Is like information overlord, overlord,
Lord. Yes,
overload,
dear Lord.
and it just makes it more difficult for small businesses because they think, oh, well, I need this type of
Mhm.
marketing, and they wear too many hats, and they don't
Mhm.
kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall, seeing what
Yeah,
sticks.
exactly. That is that. Yes, I've seen that a lot. That business owners didn't have to wear all that hat, but you hired some of your employees to do just that. Let them stop being, don't micromanage your business. You hired these people, you invested in your employees, let them do the work.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I always found that with some of the companies that I've worked for in the past, that have been small businesses or even franchises, right? They'll more focus on the micromanaging aspect. Whereas I've always found, like, whenever I don't have employees, but I have subcontractors for my business, and the way I always approach that is, well, I'm hiring this person because they have these skills and that I need. So I have to trust them. I have to put my trust in them, and that can be scary for some people. But that giving them that agency is what allows them to kind of take that weight off your shoulders.
Oh, yes, definitely. I totally agree with that. Especially if you're hiring your vendors, you don't want to be managing your vendors. You hire them for a reason because you don't want to be doing it, right? Basically, as a business owner, you want to make sure that you're growing your business on top of that. But yeah, I totally agree with what you said right there. Yes.
Very cool. So I wanted to segue into the first part of my previous question, which is, so how long have you been at Team TAV as of
So
late?
I started Team TAV on my son's birthday, October 13th, 2026. So I'm never going to forget that when they was born. But under my team, you would say that I have a unique family because my children, they're all have the entrepreneurial mind, thanks to mom and dad being that way. So for example, I'm going to say my son has started his own business and he's an artist. He's the special one of our family that can draw freehand and just have that creative mind. I don't know where that came from. But, and then my daughter, who's also doing, she's under Team TAV photography now because she does creative content for a couple of businesses now too. So with that in mind, I think we raised our children pretty well.
That's really cool. That's really cool that they all have that entrepreneurial spirit, because I know that's not the case with some families and all that jazz with the kids. So sometimes the kids just want to just do their own thing, and then for the case of me, it's I'm the only one in my family who is like, I want to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
And because my brother, he works retail, and then my parents are retired. They're like happily retired, and then they both worked jobs and stuff. It was just really interesting. But that's really cool that you gave them that example growing up of, all right, mom and dad, we're gonna not go to work, we're gonna create this work and make
We
it
are
happen.
working, but it's a different type of work. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a different
So
type
it's
of.
also what I say is that getting involved in your community plays a big factor because you never know who you may meet out there as well as part of a resource. So building that relationships is like networking. You're not going networking to collect business cards. You're networking to build a relationship, right? And I highly, highly believe in that you need to build a relationship because I want to trust someone that I want to work with. If I don't know what you do and you just hand me a business card, I'm like, okay, well, I don't
Yeah, it's
trust, you know?
yeah, it's super weird. I learned that the hard way, and then I got a my business coach, Casey. He teaches a really good like class, or it's more of a like a workshop thing. It's like a 2 day workshop thing on networking, and that was his whole philosophy. Is you go there to essentially see who can I connect you with,
Right.
and not make it about you, and then just build that relationship. And then if you the more you go to that networking event or mixer or BNI or whatever it is,
You,
people feel like they can trust you, and then it's easier to ask for a referral, or
right.
do you know anyone,
Yeah,
all that fun stuff.
exactly. Oh yeah, definitely. I'm your biggest cheerleader. If I get to know who you are and what you do, I'm going to be your biggest cheerleader for sure. I'll make sure that if I hear anybody out there, because I'm always out there in the community, I know exactly who to refer that person because I've made that relationship with this person and I can trust them that they will take care of my client the same way that you take care of other clients. And I would love that. That's what I feel my integrity is on upon because I did have someone reach out to me that they wanted one of my referrals and I did refer that person and that my referral came back to me, Blossom, let's have lunch. I'm like, okay, what's up? So, and then he basically told me, don't ever do that again because that person that you referred me to wasn't ready and it's your
Ah,
name on the line and it's your integrity. I'm like, oh, good to know. I'm glad he gave me that feedback. So now I'm very more careful on who I refer to now. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
no, 100%. You,
right,
you got to be, I feel like business owners, yeah, and entrepreneurs, they need to be careful with the referrals because
mhm,
I recently had a similar experience, but it was, I think, opposite, where I had a client who I trust really well, and I love her to death. She's
mhm,
wonderful coach, and she
mhm,
referred me this client
mhm.
who isn't my typical type of guy I'd work with, but he was doing this show. I'll just put it there, and just terrible, just really
Oh,
awful to work with. And then she was mortified to when I told her about that. And I wasn't like putting her down. I wasn't like, oh,
no,
like shame on you. I was just like,
right,
in case you don't know, like this guy, this referral, just he's complete 180. Like he seems so
right,
cool and legit. And so yeah, that can happen. So you really have to vet out those referrals and do a
right.
Zoom call or coffee and just make sure that they
I like in-person coffee
in person's the
meetings.
best. Yeah, I
Yes,
agree.
yeah. But yeah, it's always the follow-ups too. When you meet someone, you don't just meet them that one time. You want to follow up and say, hey, let's get to know each other. Let's see how we can collaborate and partner up. You got to keep that momentum going so you can build that relationship too as well, right? So it's always the follow-up. Follow-up is key when you're always meeting at a networking. It's not just getting that business card or just talking to that person that one night. It's always the follow-up that makes key, like how you and I connected.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a one. What they call that in BNI, they call it the one-to-ones, right?
Right.
You
Yeah.
you connect with someone at a networking event, and then you have those
Mhm.
one-to-one meetings and
Yes.
get to know them and
Yep.
see how you can help and whatnot. And then
Mhm.
even the networking event the other night, I was thinking, I'm like, oh, 'cause there's this gal I met, and she's like, oh, I'm looking for someone who does email campaigns. Like, I think I know someone. And then I was
Yes.
chatting with him afterwards via text. And he's like, well, I don't, but I think I know this other person. So
Right.
it can work
Exactly.
like that.
Yeah, exactly. Just like how we had that conversation last night. Someone asked, she thought I did asbestos cleaning, but I go, no, I don't do that, but I know someone that can do that. And then that's how you make referrals because you already know someone that can and you trust, and then you can refer that person off to the next person, right? There
So,
are those where I keep in my back pocket where I don't know if I really want to because that's a hard relationship as well too, and you don't want to just expose that great relationship to someone that you don't know if it might be the right person to, which I learned in the past, I will never do that again. Never. So yeah.
absolutely. Got to be strict with that.
Oh
And,
yes,
and
definitely.
so I wanted to ask my next question to you is so what has been since you've started your business, what has been would you just tell us some of the challenges that you faced and how you've overcome them and all that?
The only challenge I have is people, you know, the businesses that I work with, they're small. They don't have the revenue to reach, put into their business on as far as getting their systems in place or making their business grow. So that's a challenge that I'm having to break that they know they need me, but it's like where will they pull the funds to get that service complete because they know they need it, they really need it. So that's the only challenge I have, but it's just keeping consistent. Right now I don't, it's no right now, it's not no forever. So in a couple of,
Mhm.
it's like you follow up in a couple months and say, hey, are you ready now? You just keep in touch with them, and that's what I've been doing. So it's like, okay, I'm going to follow up, and if they don't answer my call, they're still not ready, and I understand why they're not ready because they're not in that set mind yet, but they know they need you. But yeah, that's the only challenge I have right now. It's just them trying. They know they need your services, but they don't have the funds because, and that's what I said. I'm like, okay, this is why the reason you don't have the funds is because you're not looking at your numbers. You
Yeah,
can afford
yeah,
me.
it's,
Yeah, you can
absolutely.
afford me. It's just that you don't know where your numbers are at, and this is the first thing I would make them look into as well. That you can afford me. You just gotta know your numbers. I
Oh,
always stress that in
100%.
every presentation. I'm like, know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, then you don't know if your business is growing or you're not making any, you know, profit in your business. And most
Oh,
of these business owners, they have no clue. They keep it onto someone else, and then that person tells them that, oh yeah, you're making money. Like, no, you're really not. If you don't look into it yourself, and they don't understand it, they don't know what's coming in and what's going out. And that's something business owners need to realize. You need to follow it. What you're spending, your expenses after after your, and you see what your profits are after your expenses.
Absolutely.
But they don't know. They think they're making money out of their bank account. It's like, no, you can't see your bank account that just because it has a dollar, that doesn't mean you're making money, right?
Yeah, 100%. So,
Something's wrong.
would you say that that is the biggest challenge your clients and your prospects are facing is just not knowing
Yes.
their numbers?
Yes, absolutely. 100%. They don't know how to read their P&Ls.
Hmm.
So they depend on their accountant. It could be their brother, it could be their family member that's doing their accounting. And then later on down the line, when we figure out what's going on because their bank statements are not matching up to their P&Ls, then that's a big red flag. And they're like, oh my goodness. I go, you know, it's nice to have your family member doing your books, but sometimes they're not being totally honest. You want someone that is for your business and watching out for your business so you can grow, and that person that because later on down the line you're going to have to lay off people, and you don't want to lay off people in your business that you found quality people too as well. You don't want to let those people go, so you want to make sure that you're looking at those numbers and it is consistent to what you're spending and what you're making, what you're bringing in versus what you're expending.
Oh, 100%. And
Yeah.
so my next question to that or follow-up question is, so what are some of the best ways that they can go about looking at their numbers? What advice do you typically give in that?
Absolutely. So make sure that you're meeting with your accountant every month, whoever your accounting person is, and looking at your P&Ls every month as well too. Every single month. And something you pay for something, make sure make sure it hits the right categories as well too. You know. Yeah.
And for the listeners who are new to business and don't know what a P&L is, how do you define that?
It's profit and loss. It's the profit and loss statement, which cash coming in and cash going out. So you want to make sure, as you see it, as you see money coming in, you already got this big contract, right? You got a $50,000 contract, but after expenses, you only made an $18,000 profit. Where did that rest of that money go? So you want to make sure that everything's accounted for, every single penny. One penny off, it throws off the whole books.
It's funny you mentioned that because my tax lady, she
Okay.
recommended me to. I guess it's essentially the same thing. What I've been doing, I found it actually, believe it or not, at I was making a spreadsheet version of it, but I have an actual physical book, and it's essentially just a ledger, and it's just like you put in the what is the profit, and then what the income coming in, and then the expenses, and
Yeah.
then you just there's a line for you to put what it is
Right.
and
Exactly.
where it
Just
came from, what account,
would count. Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
date. And then because the tax lady, she's telling me, he's like, you at least need that so that way you know where things are going every month. And then I need that so I can do taxes for you.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Exactly.
okay, I can do that.
I mean, you can do an Excel spreadsheet, but is that really a true Excel spreadsheet? Are you actually inputting everything that you spend? Because sometimes you can forget, oh, I forgot to put that in. And they're like, okay, where did that $1,000 go? Now you have to backtrack. So if you have an accountant that you can really trust and then will watch every penny, I say that's what you really need to see your P&Ls, your profit and loss statements. Yeah.
That's one of the things businesses need to, when they're getting started out, need to invest in is a good accountant, and I can understand why they would go to a brother or a nephew or whoever because
Yeah.
they probably will do it for free, but
Right.
having an actual professional is very, very important.
Yeah, especially if you're going for a loan as well too, you want to make sure your books are right because that's the first thing that loan officer is going to ask for. Is like they're going to look at all your profit and loss. They're going to want that, and they're like, well, why are you writing everything off? That's another thing business owners do. They think they can write everything off. No, don't write anything off. You want to make sure that they want to see that you're making money. That's another thing. If you're trying to go for a loan, do not write everything off. Please don't. I hear it from my husband who works for a credit union, and he's like dealing with these business owners that want to get a loan, and they're writing everything off, and it shows on their books that they're not making any money. There's
Uh-huh.
no income coming in.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because they're writing everything up. They're doing it because they think it's going to help them on their tax bracket. It's not.
No,
It's only
there's a certain
hurting
way you
them.
have to do that for sure.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. It hurts them in the long run. So don't do that.
Yeah, no, yeah, because I remember talking to my tax lady a couple years ago, and I was like, "Well, I can write this off," and she's like, "No, you can write these off and these off." Yeah, there's certain flexibility with certain things that you can write off, but you know you gotta just research that criteria because
Yes.
it's
Or-
yeah, like you said, it'll look really bad, and then if you take that to your tax person or a
Yeah.
loan person, they're just gonna
Yeah.
be very confused. Like, how are you
It
making
is.
money?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There's nothing in your account. You're not making any money. You're actually showing a loss, right? Because you're writing everything off.
I'm
Please
very
listen to your accounting person. That's what I say. If you're a business owner, get a true accountant person that is looking out after your books and just trust what the numbers are. Know your numbers because you're the business owner. You're the one who's invested in your business and just know your numbers. I can't stress that any more than anything. Just know your numbers.
Well, my follow-up question to that is, what do you think is, what are some of the best ways that a business owner can go about finding a good accountant? What do you recommend, like what to look out for?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. That's a very good question. Someone you can trust for one, and it's not a family member for sure. Someone that you done the research on or has been referred to that has worked with other businesses that has done a good job for them as far as watching their pennies and everything like that. That's someone I would go, but make sure you do your homework. Research the person and what they've done and who they work with. Even ask for references from that accountant person or that CPA or that bookkeeper, or whatever. Ask for references and then ask the references that they refer to. How did they work for the business? What did they do? Just do your homework and research on that person. Do not trust the first person and say, I can help you with this. I can watch this for you. And da, da, da. No, let me get some referrals first. Who have you worked with? What companies and all that, and then follow up and do those. Do your own research. And if you feel like in your gut that that's the right person, then hire them. But if it doesn't, it's not in it doesn't feel like in your gut because everybody has a good instinct of who they can work with, then yeah, I would say don't. That's already a red flag. If you don't feel comfortable with that person after you're meeting with them, then I say, move on. Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it if it
Yeah,
feels
don't
bad in
do
your
it.
gut.
No, exactly.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Definitely agree with that because I mean that's your money, you know. So you
Yeah.
want someone who you can trust and is
Yeah,
really accredited and all that fun stuff. And then
absolutely.
kind of on that note, of tracking knowing your numbers, I also feel like another thing that I've been getting back in the habit of that is very helpful is doing some time tracking, tracking for business owners to figure out, okay, where's your time going?
Yes.
And I have this app which is really cool because it has this device that it's kind of like a octagon, and you turn it on a different side, it's a different activity, and then it'll track it for you. But I mean, there's all kinds of apps and things like that,
Yes.
and I feel like that's another thing that business owners
Oh,
need
absolutely.
to do. And would you
Your
agree?
time is, yeah, your time is valuable, So yeah, make sure that if you're going to a networking event, make sure it's the right event, networking event that you are going to get business resources. So your time is valuable as well too, because you have to put value on you yourself as a business owner. And I learned that the hard way too as well. About you can't go to every networking event. Every when you first start your business, I got to go to this networking event. I got to go to this event because you want to get your name out there. No, it's got to make sense to you because your time is just as valuable. So value yourself, and if it's going to make sense for you to go to that networking event and who you're going to meet in that, you're not just going to go there for, like we said, business card, right? You want to make sure that you're going to build that relationship and you're going to know who you're going to be meeting and get your story out there. You have to have a good story to tell what your business is about and everything like that, why it's going to benefit other and who you can collaborate with too and build that partnership.
100%. Yeah, that's a really good point because I feel like that's another mistake a lot of businesses make starting out is they just want to go to every business networking event And I learned the hard way when I moved to Henderson, a few years ago, that I just went to every networking event, and then I realized very quickly that not all of them are created equal. Some of
Right.
them aren't good for my particular
Mhm.
business, and some of them are just kind of weird and have
Yeah.
weird people in it. So you just have to really use your discernment and find the ones that you feel are really aligned,
Right.
and try them out, and then do the whole visitor thing,
Yep.
for BNI or LATIP. I'm going to be a
Yep.
visitor and try all the
Yep.
chapters.
Yep. Make sure you're fit in the right one. Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
It does take some time though to
It
to
does.
find figure it out, but once you find a good group, it's like you gotta stick with it for sure.
Yep. Exactly. For sure. Exactly. Yep. I know.
My next question, I wanted to ask you. This is kind of a different direction, but where do you see Team Tab going in the future? What are your plans for the future business in the next couple of years?
In the next couple of years, where I see Team Tab, where I can sit back and have my team do the everything. I don't have to be wearing all that hats. Like, what we just talked about. The business owner wears all the hats, but I did build my team with resources that I know they can do. If I was to take that 30-day vacation, or if I was to step away for a bit, and just to get my bearings back and where and all that, I know that I have that back, that resources, and my team can just run with it and keep me going. So that's where I say, if I hope, like I said, I would love that what my daughter would take over the business, because she has that personality like her mom, but sometimes she can be my mini me 2.0 sometimes. But I think she has it in her that she could carry on the business. Yeah.
That'd be really cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome, and that's an awesome goal to aspire to. To scale it so you can just have that time away, because sometimes you need, as a business owner, that reset to
Yes.
just step away for a few days or whatever,
Yeah.
and then come back refreshed.
Yep. Okay, we have new ideas. Let's do this. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And then
Yep.
I wanted to ask you, so what advice would you give for people starting out, in their business?
Don't give up. It's going to be hard the first year, because it always takes a year for you to get all your resources, all your systems in place and everything, and who you can trust and network and everything out there. Just building that in the first year, and that's where growth will start. But never give up. You started the business for a reason, and always keep your why in place. You know, why you did this. Why did you start the business? What was your reason for starting the business? And never give up. Just because it's hard, you're going to get over that stepping stone. Yes. So never give up, and always follow up. If someone gives you like a lead, follow up, and then yeah, and thank that person after that you got that lead of a good lead. Always go back to that person that gave you that lead, and always thank them for that. So you're always keeping that connection as well, to make, because people like that, saying that, hey, I gave you that lead, and then you grew your business from that. Because I that's what makes my heart happy, is when I give someone a lead and they connect it, and now that business has helped them grow, and I didn't have to do anything. All I did was make a
No,
referral.
100%. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people is starting out, they will forget to follow up, and then especially to thank people who give them referrals, and but I've recently done that actually with a client of mine who referred me, a client from last year, and I showed him. I don't know if he saw the video. I sent him the link, but I was just like, "Oh, thank you so much. The video turned out great," and he was very happy with that. So yeah, it goes a long way. And then too, from that conversation, thanking them, they might give you another referral. So you,
Yeah.
you never know.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. That's why you always keep your connections very close, especially the good ones that give you good referrals. Always. Yeah.
Very cool. And then my next question, Blossom, that I wanted to ask you is, what is the best way for people to find your awesome work? What is, like, your social media, your website?
So my website is teamtav.com. They can see my work and what my services that I offer on my website. Everything's there. Yes. I don't really have a social media page for my business yet, but I do have a personal one where my brand is Team TAV on the move. So you'll see it on there, on Facebook, on Instagram. I always post every time I'm out in the car. I will take a photo of me and my husband, and I was like, Team TAV on the move. Where are they going now? Because we're always on the go. We're always somewhere. We're always, connecting people, and we're also in the community. We love our community. We love Henderson. So yeah, anytime we see something that's not right, we always go to our council people and say, you know what, this needs to be fixed, and they'll listen. So if you tell a Frank, he'll tell a council person.
That's awesome. That's very good advice. I love that. And before we wrap on out of here, my final question is do you have any final words or a takeaway that you'd like to share before we wrap on out of here?
Yeah, starting a business is hard and it's nervous. If you, for me, it's like if I didn't do it, you'll never know. So if you have that instinct of starting a business, go for it. I said just go for it, jump in the fire, jump in the lava, whatever. And you'll never know because if you don't do it, you never know. You're gonna say, well, if I did that, someone else always had that same idea. But if you jump in it, just go for it. Just go and open that business. Start that entrepreneur mind and start that business. That's all I can say is like, if I didn't start this, I was like, what? I'll be working for corporate America again. I was like, you know what? I'm done working for somebody else making money. Let me start my business and then just go for it.
I love that. That's awesome advice, Blossom. And then I was going to add to that, too, that, a lot of people think that they're waiting for the perfect time or something to start it. And what I've learned the hard way is you have to make it. You have to make that perfect time to
There
go
is no
for it.
perfect time. The perfect time was 10 years ago. It's now. It was yesterday. The perfect time is if you have it in your mind that you want to start the business, then just go for it. Just do it. Like the Nike sign, just do it. No.
Just do it. I love that.
Yeah. No, but if you have that mind that you want to start this business, don't talk about it. Don't tell somebody else that you have this plan that you want to do this because then they'll take your idea and they'll start the business and you're going to like, man, I should have started that business, right?
It's true. Very
Yeah.
true.
So just do it. Just go for it.
Do it. It reminds me of the
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf motivational. Do it. Make your dreams come true. I love that.
Exactly.
Very
Yes.
cool. Well, I really appreciate you coming on the show, Blossom. It's been wonderful chatting with you. And go check out teamtab.com and see what she's about and reach out
Yes.
and, yeah, connect with her.
Absolutely. I would love to be that person that helps to grow your business to the next level because I can take your business from 0 to 100. And thank you, Drew, for having me on this podcast. I appreciate it very well.
I
Thank you.
appreciate you, Blossom. And for all those watching this episode, be sure to subscribe. We have more episodes coming out soon. And to find it, you just go to YouTube and the @ symbol Arcturus Video, and there you will find all our episodes. So go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell for future episodes. And this is Drew Mitchell, and thank you for watching.